what got you into doing energetic healing work?
Well, as I was doing massage, my clients started asking me about my hands getting so hot, which I had no idea they were. So I started looking around for something to give me some answers, give me some words. And I ended up taking Reiki, which didn't exactly give me the answers, but it helped. And from then on, it was just, as I had to take classes to keep my certifications up and my licenses up and insurance up, I started taking more and more energy classes.
What did you come to discover the more that you took energy classes?
The results were better. If I combined energy with massage, people weren't as sore because it would flush the body on a different level and it would last longer for people. When I just did massage, it was like a band-aid on them. It just worked for the moment. But energy work seemed to help more. And then the energy changed. About in the 90s, I feel like another level of energy work became available to people on the planet. And that's when we ended up with all these new quantum modalities. And I took matrix energetics, where I learned even more about the quantum modalities. And that was the biggest expansion for me, for making the changes in people, making things just happen.
Talk about the quantum healing, because I know that's what the work that you do right now. And can you say what's different about it?
What I noticed being different about it is there are unlimited possibilities. If you can think it, it's possible. You can reach into different dimensions. You can work with all dimensions at the same time, or go into a dimension that you never even thought was possible and find the answer that you need. It's not that I get the answer in my head. I get the answer through a feeling or a knowing. And it's like it just comes in and works. Makes the changes that people are needing.
So as you're working with quantum healing, what's the transformation look like compared to what it looked like before?
Okay, this will sound kind of strange. Before, it looked jagged. It looked like it would go here, and then here, then here. With the quantum work, it's like a wave. It just flows. And the body works with waves. The body works with non-linear. Everything on the planet works that way. We work with a wave form instead of jagged lightning type bolt looking things.
What would be the example of something that looked jagged in terms of healing versus something that looks smooth and like a wave? What would be, can you spot an example for us?
Well, when I'm working on the physical body, say I'm working on a back muscle, and I hit a knot. And to me, that's like everything in there is firing all at once and not releasing. And that's kind of jagged. That feels jaggedy, like it's sharp. And the body doesn't want to release with that. So when I bring in this other wave energy into this, it just relaxes and flows out. And then the body doesn't hold on to that.
And what would it look like when you just do the energy work that you were doing before the quantum, if you worked on that knot?
It would soften it a little bit, but the root of it is still there.
Oh.
And whenever you do the quantum work, for instance, I may be working on a muscle here, but the client doesn't realize my other hand is up here, going into another dimension, bringing in what we need here to fix the root, or to solve the root, or to erase the root.
So how has this work of doing quantum work brought you into working with hexes and curses? Like, what was the transition?
The transition was, I just started seeing it and wondering what it was. And I'm realizing it's more about the curses. I think hexes are kind of short-lived. But when you combine a curse with a spell, it can transfer through generations. And I wondered what to do about it. I didn't know. So I started asking questions. And I ended up with a new modality called the emotion code. I got certified in that. And that really brought me into understanding how you can go back the generations and change it through the emotion code. But then I would combine that with the organ regeneration work I taught as to how you can just completely change the DNA. Because anytime a curse or a spell is put on a person generations ago, it changes the DNA. And I believe that is where the victim and the fear is held in a person. When a curse is combined with a spell, it looks like a spider web to me. In order to clear that, you can't clear just one little piece. It has gone into a dimensional program. They look like programs. They look like energetic constructs that actually jump into other dimensions. And in order to clear that completely, you need to clear all the dimensions at the exact same time. So that's where I really work a lot with the highest of the angels possible. I call in my teams and the angels, of course, with God and Jesus and the original creator and all of anyone I can find that knows how to do this safely, because I'm not the one doing the work. I just call in these groups of beings and they do the work because they know what to do. I might see what needs done, but then I know who to call in to do the work. But a curse and a spell of the, like I was talking about, actually affects the DNA for generations. You might see a family where, why are they always so sad or down on themselves? Or this person has more education than you can imagine, but why aren't they able to support themselves and get the job they needed and walk around so sad? And they look like they have this gray around them, and their eyes have a gray tinge to them. But they don't know that, but I see that. And that's when I realized this is where you need to go to clear that. It's a generational issue. So you go clear back to the generation that it originated, clear it through all dimensions, and then activate the original DNA that this person needed at that point, or had before they were cursed, because it's a family DNA. Then that is carried forward through all the families and the generations up to now. And then you bring that up to the level it needs to be now. Because what they were then on the planet may not be what they need to be now, because a lot's happened on the planet and within themselves also. So they need to have everything like an upgrade. Like if you get an old computer, you're going to upgrade your computer. If you turn that thing on, it's not going to work with the programs out there now. It's going to need some upgrades. So you activate that DNA back then, bring it forward, and then do an upgrade.